Hello and welcome back to Dead But Alive Southern England. Alright, let's head into this fight. Okay, it's only a single grade 6 zombie, so it's not too bad. Should be a winnable fight. Providing I don't get really unlucky. Nope, not the skull, not the skull, not the bloody skull. Thank you. Nope, it's gonna hit the skull, damn it. Okay, you better hit a skull, you pesky thing, you. Good. Stalemate. Okay, I need that times 3 ideally. But I'm not gonna get it. Okay, 11. Damn it. I am losing people badly at the moment. It's going to help my food situation, but it's going to screw me over for the amount of stuff I can get done in a day. No, 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 no. Damn it. Haha! Stalemate, okay. Come on, come on. It's not too bad. It's not good, but it could be a lot worse. Okay, good. 14. I'll take that. 14. Stalemate. Damn it. Damn thing just does not want to bloody die. I'm going to get a terrible score on this one. Best it can be is 10. I'm not going to get that. Jesus Christ. 8? Unless she hits a skull, I'm screwed. She's hit a skull. I win. Hey! I didn't stop to think. My training just took over and that kept me alive. Just like it did in Iraq. You think you can handle experiencing a fight like this? Until you wake up screaming at 3 in the morning. All I can do is keep going. What was the result? Well, we came across a batch of silver packets in thick plastic foil. Tore them open to find bread, fresh and delicious. Great piece of luck. We also found an abandoned vehicle and did a quick search. There was a box of shotgun shells in the cab. And as further luck would have it, we found some good pine wood, planned and held in bundles with metal scraps. We collected what we could for building materials. Okay, nothing else we can do for today, so back to camp. We're down to 32 AP in the mornings. Nope, nobody has anything interesting to say. We're going to have to get some more people into this group. Because at one point we had 13 plus the VIPs, which was pretty handy. So let's head to the Isle of Wight and use the boat to do it. Newport, the bustling hub of the island. My good friend Dr. Keith Ingle was born here, and his surgery's here too. I remember shopping here with Juliet on that first visit, trying to speak to her in her native French. Oh, the memory still makes me smile. It's my hope and wish that they're both safe. The town is as big as Ryde, and I expect now it's filled with Zeds. But we've been in touch with a different group by radio, so we should check it out. Let's ask them to join our group. As we looked around, her voice called out, demanding to know who we were. We discovered some survivors. They allowed us to enter their camp to talk, but they kept their weapons ready all the same. With supply runs, the zombie attacks and bandit raids to deal with, they agreed that there was strength in numbers, if we would have them. Okay, plus 3 guys. Just want to check how many does that mean I've got now. It means I've got 9, which isn't bad, but that means I'm using up 19 food per day. Let's get it up to a nice round 10, I think. The Pool Coast, the place where my fiance's ashes are scattered. The town's busy, and quite large. It's 150,000 inhabitants. Probably scattered themselves now. Scattered as refugees, as the living dead, or even more horrifically scattered limb from bloody limb. We've been in touch with a different survivor by radio who expressed their interest in joining our group, so we should check it out. Yep, let's accept them. And let's go and try and get some more food. My fiancée and I arrived at Yeovil Junction Station late at night and faced a somewhat precarious walk along a windy country lane before reaching a crossroads that seemed to have been totally devoid of traffic. We'd hoped to find a taxi to take us to our guest house for the night, but there seemed to be nothing in sight but roads without pavements, and remote houses with barking dogs. We found our way along the road into town, and I expected the road through the trees is now as creepy as anything from a horror film, with the lumbering dead and dying of the town meandering through those desolate woods. We expect to find some food here, but the area was densely populated, and will likely be a dangerous place to visit. The city streets were deserted, and only stray cats and dogs and the occasional corpse could be seen. We picked a nearby house and decided to try our luck. The door was locked, so we smashed one of the windows and went inside, and while the house had been ransacked already, there was a locked strongbox in the cellar. Great, this is a mini game. Okay, we're on the right track. One more. There we go. The lock opened, and we were surprised by what we found. Inside we found a stash of conserves, and additionally we discovered some ammo. They seem to be finding an awful lot of jam. Has anybody else noticed that? Okay, is anywhere within 6? Probably not. Okay, instead I'm going to return to camp. And we've got plenty of ammo, so let's go hunting. It'll get us a little food. Not much, but a bit. Okay. Next day. Eric has recovered. Excellent. Because Eric is reasonably competent in combat. Okay. We still need a lot more supplies. We're going to get that barricade complete. So let's chop some wood. I still don't know why chopping the wood requires fuel, but oh well. Okay, food source really close by. There's an army base here, but generally Blandford is an isolated rural location. It's easily accessible by roads, but less so on foot. I'd not expect to find many infected around here. We hope to attain a few food supplies here, and consider the risk to be pretty low. Worried about our supplies running out, we went to explore a tiny village far from the city. I had a bad feeling about the house we eventually broke into. There was no sign of any trouble as we smashed a window and went inside. A meal was spread out on the dining table, now covered in mould and attracting vermin. This house had long ago been abandoned in a hurry, and a large ladder adjoined to the kitchen, and was pushing open the heavy door we found it well stocked. Much of the food was spoiled, but a lot was still edible, and further we came across a woodshed in the garden that was festooned with building materials. Those will be most useful. Yes, in case people haven't realised by now, I'm pretty sure that what it's basically got is a selection of quotes, and it mixes and matches them to create, quote-unquote, unique incidents. That's my assessment, anyway. That's what, because there's lots of little bits I recognise here and there. Okay, let's go on a dangerous mission, shall we? The Pool Coast, the place where my fiance's ashes are scattered. The town's busy and quite large. Its 150,000 inhabitants are probably scattered themselves by now. Scattered as refugees, as the living dead, or even more horrifically, scattered limb from bloody limb. There's probably lots of fuel here, but it's a dangerous area to visit, so extreme caution is advised. We headed for the city, where many small stores have been looted, but possibly still held something of value. Though locked and bolted, the glass doors of the fuel station's shop were easily smashed, and we began to look around. One of the group found a large locked strongbox, while everybody else reported that they couldn't find anything of use. Yeah, but on the plus side, no zombies. Still not sure why we have a time limit on lockpicking, but okay. There we go. We took everything that might be useful, and inside we found a stash of conserves, and on top we found some ammo. More than that, the owner had stashed away some fuel cans, and we also hit upon a bunch of tools. That was a really successful thing, I've got to say. Okay, we could do with more supplies, I think. So, oh yes, it was somewhere around here that we got lost during tank training on the plains. The day was wet then, and the night was foggy. The land's quite flat, mostly wide fields. There's a good section of it, owned by the Ministry of Defence. This area should contain some building supplies and have a relatively low risk of attack. Worried about our supplies running out, we went to explore a tiny village far from the city. The front door to the house was locked, but a few good kicks were all it took to break it down. And while the house had been ransacked already, there was a locked strongbox in the cellar. There we go. With the lock open, we could finally take what we wanted. Inside we found a stash of conserves, and also some ammo. The owner had also stashed away a few fuel cans, and more than that, we hit upon a bunch of tools. That's not bad at all, actually. In fact, that's really good. Okay, let's head over here. You can walk to the north fringes of the New Forest from Salisbury, if you wanted. It's quite a nice trek, actually. And the road meanders alongside the River Avon, which splits into lots of channels as it breaks up through a countryside of roads, isolated houses, and even a few villages. I've walked along here once or twice with Roger and a few other army mates for my date in Salisbury. We'd expect to find some building supplies here while presenting a relatively low risk of attack. Okay, let's drive there. All voted to risk a hopefully more rewarding trip into the city, and we picked one of the apartment blocks. The front door was pretty securely locked, so we smashed open a window on the ground floor to get inside, and by some miracle we found no one, living or dead. We stumbled onto the dead body of a soldier. His pack had little of use to us, but we did find some army rations there, foil sealed and fine to eat. More than that, there was a dead soldier leaning against the wall, and besides his rifle, we found a few spare rounds in his pockets, and also a live grenade. Additionally, by chance, we came across some glass bottles. At first we thought they contained whiskey, but no, it was petrol, and in this case it was more than welcome. Further, we also stumbled across a large pile of firewood, most of which was perfect for building with. That was a really good one. Okay, let's go back to the camp and let us... We've already chopped some wood, so let's do some cooking. And then let's do some hunting. Because my attitude to hunting is simple. Are you going to eat what you kill? Then I don't mind you hunting. Are you doing it because it's fun? Then you are a psychopathic git. No offense. Let's face it, I'm recording this only a few days after that whole Cecil the Lion thing, which has really raised public awareness of it, but keep in mind, that kind of hunting goes on a lot, and it's not even illegal. The only reason that Cecil the Lion shouldn't have been killed is that he was supposed to be on a nature reserve. So, yeah, I'm a bit dodgy on that front. Oh, Caroline would like to talk to us. Hey, you know, I thought it might be time for another go at poker. I feel like your luck might finally be improving. Want to meet me over by my tent later on in the night? Sure, I'll stop by tonight. I can't wait. Start the romance track. Shall we? Caroline seems okay. You know, reasonably friendly, so screw it. As I say, apparently you can start all of the romance tracks and it doesn't break the game at all, which feels a bit odd, but okay. Sure, I'll stop by tonight, I can't wait. She's smiling. Sounds good. I'll be waiting. So I'm assuming that means that's going to happen when we next go on to the next day. Okay, let's get some wood chopped. Yeah. And then let's head out. Actually, let's manage the party. Assuming nobody has anything interesting to say. Nope. Okay, a lot of potential stuff. For a start, our food situation's okay at the moment, so I think we can afford to recruit a few more people. The countryside around here really is quite pleasant. I've got lots of happy and, well, often slightly drunken memories of roaming the streets with Tinny and some of our mates from our unit. One particular night comes to mind when we decided to yomp into the Serene Abyss Giant carrying Lola, Tinny's girlfriend of the day, on my back. Can't actually remember how far we got, but we did not make it to the Giant. Dorchester's a nice town. I don't expect it's very picturesque these days, with these dark days after the viral crisis. Still, we've been in touch with a different group by radio. We should check it out. Let's ask them to join our group. Today, we come across another group of survivors. When they noticed us, they immediately took cover and fired a couple of shots. Fortunately, some shouted explanations convinced them to cease firing. With their supplies running low, they asked whether they can join our group. Okay, so that brings us up to 12, which means we're burning through 22 food a day. So let's risk heading to the Isle of Wight to get some more food. Ah, that memory. The one of Taniel with his flimsy wooden watercolour easel, standing up to try and capture the birds on paper in the spitting rain. God, I hope that he and his artworks are safe. Knowing Dan, he's probably painting portraits of infected islanders right now. This marshy spot, however, is probably devoid of people now, as it practically was even then. We're sure that there's some food here, and a concentration of Zeds too. This place will be pretty risky to visit. Okay, yeah, let's walk. Rotting flesh, litter and corpses, and stray cats and dogs, broken windows. The city really wasn't what it once had been. We picked a random car near the entrance to the lot, kept alert for trouble as we smashed the window to get inside. But as we carried out a sweep of the location, we soon discovered that we weren't alone. That's a pretty low-level zombie. Admittedly, it's also one of my generic survivors, who I'd prefer not to lose, because they're just recruited some fresh ones. You know, fresh meat for the grinder and all that. Come on, stop! Okay, good. It's weird, I'm actually pressing down harder on the mouse button, even though I know that will have no effect at all. 15, not bad. Good. Well done, Generico McSurvivor. Excellent, one of our useful people. Okay, that one's not going to pick up much. Okay, get the 5, get the 5, get the 5. Okay, she's getting 4. It's not as good, but I'll take it. Okay, 19. Not bad. He's not going to be able to match that. Good. Good clean fight. Somehow, the zombies aren't chewing on our bones right now. We survived another battle. Some of the group are proud of their fighting skills now. God, when do we start feeling proud of the killing? Feelings are just feelings. No plan on letting them get the best of me. But what was the result? We stumbled across the dead body of a soldier. His pack had little of use to us, but we did find a few army rations there, foiled, sealed, and fine to eat. Things got better, and we stumbled across a box, cubic and made of brass. It looked like an ammunition box, and it was locked, so we tried to force it. And we were right. There were cases of shotgun shells inside. A pile of wood caught our attention, and it looked like it was in good condition, so we spent some time pulling the pile apart, salvaging the best of it to build with too. Okay, so we've got decent material now. Food situation could be better, so I'm going to return to the Isle of Wight. But I can't, unless I spend a lot of our fuel, which I don't want to do. So instead, let's go somewhere closer to hand. The country to the west of Salisbury is beautiful and remote. There are a few roads which approximately run along the River Nerdair here, following an ancient route to connect the villages, that also run along the river's bank. The area is principally rural, and we should find some weapons or maybe some ammo here. The risk is minimal. Today, we found a small country village that looked like it had been abandoned for quite some time, and we were amazed to find the back door to one house was unlocked, yet there were no signs of looters having found it. The house was completely silent. Not a living soul, living or dead, was in residence, and cans of beans and other conserves were our reward for our trouble, and furthermore the garage had a nice supply of ammo. That was definitely useful. Okay, let's go there as well. Yep, let's go to one of these and drive to one and walk to the other. So that'll use up all our AP for the day. There aren't many people around here, and the area is largely plains that stretch out from Glastonbury to the far west, to Stonehenge in the east. I doubt there are many wandering Zeds to cause problems here. We expect to find a small amount of fuel. Visiting the area should represent a low risk. Okay, let's drive to this one. Down a country lane that was little more than a dirt track, we came across a small deserted village. The cottage we found looked ancient and run down, but it didn't look like it had been disturbed. We decided to take a look around. We thought the location was empty at first, but then we were ambushed by a group of zombies. Okay, but at least we got her ready to fight. And she does at least outclass the zombie enemy. Stop on that 6. Stop on that 2, that's tolerable. Stop on that 6. Okay, 21. Beat that. She hits that ×3, we could be in trouble, but... What?! No, 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 no. That had gone past that ×2 skull. I'm sorry, I'm pissed off about that, because that was bollocks. haven't had him in a fight in ages. No, she should not have been able to hit me with that. She had missed that ×2 skull. Good. Someone called out to me and I ducked just in time to avoid certain death. I tried not to think about what these zombies, how they were ordinary people once, just like us. I don't think I could have fought them otherwise. Still, we can't afford sensitivity now. After the fight, we decided to do what we came here for. The kitchen cupboards were largely bare, but along the chipped crockery and cooking utensils, we found some hard cooking chocolate and other preserves which were perfect for our food stocks. And the garage was well equipped with car maintenance tools. In the worktub we found 2 cases of shotgun shells. More than that, we found an old fired heater in the greenhouse, some sort of tropical plant warmer made from iron. It still had a good measure of fuel inside, so we siphoned it off for our purposes. Okay, though surrounded by pleasant countryside, Yeovil is quite a large town, and the centre is probably home to a large population of the undead. I wonder how many survivors might still live there. Where there's life, there is hope. And there's probably some fuel here, and the area has a light population, so a visit here will be classified as low risk. We've heard rumours about a cache of supplies in a more populated area, and we decided it was worth the risk to check out. The apartment building looked almost unaffected by the utter chaos on the street, and we broke down the front door and randomly picked up an apartment. By some miracle, we found no one, living or dead. We found a few army rations, still sealed and perfect for us. Things got better, and a damp box at the foot of a wall was found to contain bullets in great condition. We saw a large stack of fuel containers, silver metal tins with plastic stoppers. They were full, and they'll make a welcome addition to our supplies too. Excellent, back to camp. Okay, let's rest for the night. And I suspect we might be about to encounter the romance track. Yup. You lose 6 AP. Food plus 9 points. Ammo plus 1 point. So, I'm curious to see whether I'm going to have to flag this video as adult only. Later that night. About time you showed up. So I was thinking, maybe we should up the stakes this time. Make things a bit more interesting. We can wager, I don't know, clothing? What do you say? Yes, 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 absolutely. Yeah, let's go for a nice medium yes. She's laughing. Easy now. No need to get all excited before the game even starts. Alright, let's get started. You forgot to deal. I think that's a penalty. Oh, how about that? You're right. Looks like I forgot the cards. Oops, I guess I lose this hand. She removes her shirt. Nope, I don't think I'm going to have to flag that as adult only. I'm sorry, you know my rules. As long as it's above the waist, I ain't flagging it. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to be very, very, very quiet. Everyone out there thinks we're just playing cards. And it's going to stay that way. You make too much noise, anyone walks in on us, both you and them are leaving here with bruises. And she leans in for a kiss. And the next morning, hey there. Made yourself at home? I never said you could spend the night, you know. Caroline is smiling. Although it was nice to sleep next to something warm for once, though. I suppose. Look, last night was fun. Yeah, it's the kind of fun I could get used to. Caroline is laughing. Don't you get too attached to me now. The world out there is a dangerous place. People just up and die every day now, it seems. The world out there is different now. You see it, I know you do. Love, family, kids. All these things seem so normal not that long ago. Now they seem almost stupid. Oh God, who's dumb enough to fall in love with Zeds at your door every day? Anyway, the coast is finally clear. I'm gonna sneak out. Get dressed and join the rest of us when you get a chance. Don't you go sniffing through my stuff, you hear? Okay, apparently that used up all our AP for that day. Or not. Ah, we haven't actually ticked over onto the next day yet. Okay, next day. Lucy would like to talk to you. Thanks a lot for your help. Tom's already feeling a lot better. You're welcome. You know, with all the shit that's going on out there, the zombies, but the people too. Helping each other just doesn't seem to come naturally to them. You might be mistaken, but you think she's looking at you in a certain way. We're really in your debt. Ask about daughter. Well, over the last few days the military basically took over, but I've heard that they set up a collection point. I'll mark it on your map. Ask about the base. I don't know that much about it. When the electricity went down and our batteries ran out, our brand new digital radios became completely useless. We never did have access to the frequency that the military's used, though. Anyway, nobody thought it would be necessary. Ask for help. Sure, we'll help you check it out. We're all in your debt for what you've done. Leading a group of this many different people can't be easy. Yeah, how did we end up in charge again? We were just the one unlucky bastard who ended up in charge. Okay. Let's do a bit of cooking. Stretch our food supplies a bit. And let's upgrade the barricade. That took a lot of time today. Okay, nearby base. 4 AP. Let's do this. There's a big army base here, and I stayed at Blandford Camp a few months back in the day. The area is flat and rural, quite isolated but well connected by major roads. Quite a lot of infrastructure has grown up around the base, which is also home to some US forces. I wonder if there's any survivors still there. Lucy gave me the location of a collection point set up by the military. Apparently it's some kind of military base near Bovington. I remember visiting the tank museum close by. It was a PR thing by some desk jockey at the MOD. They wanted officers with combat experience to give a talk. I talked alright. Not about honour and medals, but about the blood on your uniform after your buddy standing right beside you was blown to bits by an Iraqi roadside bomb. They didn't ask me to give any more talks after that. When we got there, we immediately lost hope. There were zombies all over the place, and the gate had been wrenched from the gateway. Looked like the work of explosives, but from a distance I couldn't really tell. The burned out van close to it would explain it. Car bomb. I've seen far too damn many of those in Baghdad. Okay, that's it. Nobody living there. Nobody helping us there. We can go home. Let's check it out. There might be still someone be hidden who could use our help. Sure, but why is that my problem? Team up with Renette. That stupid old Cal surely agreeing you can both waltz in there and get yourself killed. It'll save me a lot of headaches in the future. Steve! Of course I didn't expect much help from you. You only have your pretty daughter in mind anyway. We might find some weapons there, Steve. Big weapons. Automatic rifles. Maybe even a bazooka. Yeah, because that'll be useful. Come on. There we go. And wouldn't that be something to play with? It's tempting. Almost as much as your little ass in those tight panties. Maybe you could offer up a bit? You're an asshole, Steve. I know, but I'm still alive, aren't I? Must be doing something right. You can stay here if you like, Steve, but I'm going in there. Now don't even think about making a comment about my ass, or I'll break your nose. I promise you that. Fine. Let's go. But I get first dibs on any guns we find. And Lucy, don't worry about me and your ass. You're not really my type, you know. Renette is rolling her eyes. I might have guessed. What? Never mind. We went in, and Steve had the idea of a smaller group moving around the fence from outside, screaming and making as much noise as they can. The idea worked well, and with most of the zombies gathering at the fence trying to knock it over, but the fence held. Says a lot for UK military workmanship. Well, imported for Korea, most likely. Thanks to Steve's distraction, we only had to knock over a few zombies on the head on our way to it. Our hopes of looting some serious military hardware came to nothing, though. The place had been stripped clean. We didn't find any clue to what happened here either, except for a few mutilated corpses that I didn't think looked like the work of zombies. What the hell happened here? Hell, they even had tanks. How can this be? Not a single piece of... How come it's suddenly censoring the strong language? Rifle here. Swearing won't make it any better. It just shows your weak character. Okay, that's it. I am going to strangle you to death and hack you to pieces like the piece of... Steve makes a step towards Renette. Renette looks frightened. Lucy puts a gun to Steve's head. Go right ahead. You know, it's a peace loving after all, I guess. Not when it comes to scumbags. Okay, ladies, relax. I'm just joking around, okay? Maybe we shouldn't let him get away with everything. Steve's eyes widen. Oh, shit. That's right. You should be afraid because... Not you, sugar. Over there. Take cover. Automatic rifle fire stirs up the dirt around you and your group. Who's that? Military, I guess. Saw a uniform. Why are they shooting at us? They could have killed someone. I doubt it. He wasn't shooting to kill. Hey, over there! Dorset Police! I want to talk! Who are you? Did you destroy the base? This bright spark doesn't really think he'll get an honest answer to that, does he? Okay, guys, we're overrunning this part a bit, so I'm going to call that a convenient moment to end this part. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next.